My roof's got a hole in it. My roof's got a hole in it. My roof's got a hole in it. I might drown.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
And welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today, being brought to you by some wonderful folks. First, we want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, remember at Taco John's, all their convenient drive-thrus. You can use the Taco John's app. Hey, delivery is available too. Taco John's of Cheyenne on the South Greeley Highway. You also find them downtown on KRAE Avenue, at the corner of Pershing and Ridge, Delrange and Ridge, and on Yellowstone Road. We want to thank Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Again, you can get your Kia two different ways. You don't have to step onto the lot. You go to KiaCheyenne.com and follow all the prompts. And matter of fact, they'll take care of the buying, the leasing, the money down, the payments, all that type of stuff for you. Also, too, again, sight unseen, they'll do your appraisal for you as well. Again, follow the prompts, and they'll give you Kelly Blue Book value. Me, personally, I'm going onto the lot. I want to kick a few tires, take a test drive, and deal with our good friends over at Kia of Cheyenne. They're sanitizing hourly, and they got hand sanitizer there as well, too. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. We also want to thank Platte Valley Bank ×2, Rick and the great crew over on Vandehigh. And, again, you can see them over on the corner of College and Pershing. Use the convenient drive-thrus, as always, at Platte Valley Bank. If you need to discuss other information with Platte Valley Bank, give them a call at 778-0021. We want to thank Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, right across from Powers Field and Menards. Ray and Cindy and the wonderful staff over there, two convenient drive-thrus. Also, they have curbside service, and you can use the Chick-fil-A app when you are doing your business with Chick-fil-A. See them for three squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you haven't tried breakfast at Chick-fil-A, that is a must-try. Their hash brown scramble bowl, absolutely delicious. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, across from Powers Field and Menards. Want to thank Gene and the crew over at Medicat Pharmacy, located on Bluegrass Circle, right next door to Texas Roadhouse. Again, use a convenient drive-thru. They're practicing the social distancing inside. They're open Monday through Saturday. And remember, with your doctor's prescription, let Medicat Pharmacy fill those scripts for you as well. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Bruce and the wonderful staff will invite you to come on in. Got hand sanitizer on the left side and on the right-hand door as well. The right-hand door is for the service department, and on the left-hand side, come on in and check out all the wonderful appliances. Maytag, GE, Frigidaire, Whirlpool, and again, check out the great selection of televisions as well. B&B Appliance and TV serving our community needs for over 50 years. We want to thank Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Heather reminds everyone that they are back at 8 o'clock now, Monday through Friday. So call them for an appointment or an appraisal at 634-6608 or set up an appointment to, get some work done at the Detail Center over on Pershing Avenue. Pershing Boulevard, that is, Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Store. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Tim and the great staff welcome you to stop on by. Give them a call, 632-3500, to do all your banking business. Mondello's Pizzeria, Paisan cuisine at its best. Joe Mondello beginning his fifth decade of business at 1507 Stillwater Avenue Suite, Dean the Greenway Commons, along with Caesar and their nephew. Again, they are taking good care of you. You got to use the takeout window thus far, but give them a call to enjoy some delicious pizza. Hey, number one in Wyoming and ranked in the top 10 by the Food Network, folks. You can reach Mondello's Pizzeria at 778-6068. In addition to those delicious pies on fresh-baked bread, fresh-made ingredients to go on the toppings, also everything. Fresh baked breads for their delicious hot and cold Italian subs, along with their delicious steak subs. They have calzones, stromboli. I mean, the eating is always delicious at Mondello's Pizzeria, 778-6068. And our scoreboard is being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne, as we got, we got Oso the Wonder Dog right now. Mr. Conehead being a pest here in the studio, Nick. Anyway, what's going on in the scoreboard
Well,
today?
again, that allows you to do your thing and kind of monitor him while I at least update a scoreboard. Again, we won't have a show tomorrow, but coming up this weekend here in town as baseball is back, and again, softball is back here in the Cowboy State, especially here in the city of Cheyenne. Cheyenne Post 6 will be in action coming up this Saturday. Noon o'clock, they will have a game over at Powers Field. They will be taking on USA Prime. That is noon. Saturday, again, as of now, fans, again, not allowed to enter in the stands at Powers Field. Again, you can watch from the outfield or, again, align those at least fencing around Powers Field, but that's about it. Again, no fans in attendance per se at Powers Field. And then 5 o'clock on Saturday, they will also too have a game against Rocky Mountain Oysters, again, at Powers Field. So Post 6, the Sixers, in action this weekend, again, as they are right now 4-2 on this early abbreviated season.
And as the governor mentioned in his press conference yesterday, they are going to start allowing more people to come to venues. Again, we'll have to wait on Laramie County Health District to let us know what the status would be for going to the games at Powers Field, and of course our city government. But other than that, again, now with a little less restrictions, we might be able to go out to the ballpark and sit in the stands. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers.
The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you wanna do,
Here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
then get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year.
Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say,
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
do the do.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
All you good folks in Laramie and Goshen counties, listen up, please. Cheyenne Urological is now operating a satellite clinic in Torrington at 524 College Drive. Yes, top quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence will now be provided by the highly trained staff of Cheyenne Urological in Torrington. So save yourself a trip and take advantage of the same wisdom, compassion, and expertise that served Cheyenne for over 30 years. Call Cheyenne Urological at 307-635-4131.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger Grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger Grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, partly sunny, expected daytime high of 70 degrees with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms developing later today. Partly cloudy for tonight. Our low drop down to 48 degrees. Tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny. Look for a daytime high near 80 degrees with a chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Mostly clear Friday night, our low down to 53. And for Saturday, mostly sunny, expected daytime high near 78.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
program for today. We are going to talk first, and I hate using the word interim, but I'm just going to say it. The new women's basketball coach at Laramie County Community College, Danielle Rinaldo. We talked to your former boss, so to speak, Brian Ortmeyer, on his departure as he moves on to Fort Dodge, Iowa. But Danielle, thank you for joining us today on the program, and congratulations. I mean, this is assistant coach is one thing, but being in charge, being the head coach, that's an entirely different bailiwick.
It is, yes. I'm really excited for the opportunity. Obviously, as an assistant, you want to move up into that head coach position. It's definitely bittersweet to see Brian go, but I know he, has that opportunity to be closer to home. So I'll miss him, but I wish him the best.
We're going to have you bring the microphone just a little bit closer to you. Yeah. Also, too, talking about you and Brian and the relationship you've had over the last couple of years, being an assistant coach, learning, not just, the Region 9, but basketball, coaching techniques, recruiting. I mean, you learned the whole package. And again, you played basketball. There's a lot of difference from being on the floor to being on the bench and writing down the X's and O's. But things that you picked up from Coach Ortmeyer that you might be able to apply as you step into the head coaching position.
I've obviously learned a lot from him in the last 2 years, just from him building the program from the ground up. We've talked a lot about that and what it took to start from square one, and then now 5 years later be as successful as it is now. I was very interested in that, so we've talked about that. Obviously, game plans, just being on the bench from him, listening to coaching cues, his practice plans, everything like that. I was trying to just soak it all in. So.
Well, and again, for you, at least in this new position where Coach Ortmeyer didn't leave the covered bears, so to speak, at LCCC, in these 4 or 5 seasons now with LCCC, kind of getting on the map, so to speak, not just so much here in locale in Laramie County, but on the region side, especially with some big wins this past season, top 25 victories as well too. But again, you had a lot of young freshmen that are moving up, sophomores. Going to be those wily veterans for your squad. So, again, you got to be pretty excited for your at least first-time head coaching career that, hey, I got something established, something that's pretty set in stone that could be something special this season.
Yeah, I definitely want us to continue to be competitive. Obviously, I want the program to just build and build and build and get a target on our back and be like, yeah, LCCC is the team to beat, and just have one of those, once again, just a good season and better than the last, and just working up from there. I'm super excited to have the freshmen come back and be our sophomores. We have some strong personalities and leaders. We have 6 returning and then 5 freshmen coming in, and I'm really excited to see just them play together and just grow as, women.
It's interesting, too, with your background, playing at Northeastern JC, a former Lady Plainsman, and being out at Mesa. So you know the lay of the land for the Rocky Mountain region. Of course, you've been up here in Cheyenne for the last couple of years with Brian Ortmeyer, so you pretty much know what's going on here with our Class 4A, 3A basketball, and so on and so forth. So recruiting, it's a 360. Well, this year it's 366, but I mean basically it's a year-round proposition. So. Again, you kind of have your foot in the door knowing what to look for when you're out doing the recruiting trail.
Yeah, definitely. Recruiting is one of those things that I know we have a talented class locally here in Cheyenne, which I'm excited to see how well they do this year. And then, we have girls from Colorado, Utah. We have a few Spain girls, so we've dipped our foot into the international recruiting. I'm really excited, and just to get them to move on to the next level as well, whether it's NAIA, Division II, whatever, D1, just to have those connections with those coaches as well and get our girls that publicity so they can move on and play is something that I want to set a goal for as well this year.
What was that? Give us kind of your thought process when you first learned. Again, talking whether it was with Coach Ortmeyer, or again, getting that call from Dr. Cindy Henning of saying, hey, you're now the interim head coach there at LCCC. You're going to take over for Coach Ortmeyer. Talk about that day, that phone call, those kind of past couple of days. What was kind of running through your mind, so to speak, or was it pretty much of, now I got to focus on recruiting. How do I get these young ladies out here? I got to establish a playbook. What were kind of your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of thoughts. Just between talking to Brian and getting the call and stepping into the position, I knew the pressure and the stress that it was going to bring, but also just the excitement. I'm super excited to, coach the girls and teach them everything that I've learned and just be, their cheerleader on the side and give them the confidence to go play as hard as they can. I'm really excited. Yeah, lots of thoughts going through my head between, I've already thought about plays, I've already thought about what we want to be on the court, how we want to do our defense, team mottos. I've talked to the freshmen, so I've been reaching out to all the players, and their excitement just, brings more excitement for me. So yeah, there's a lot to do, but that's the territory.
Talk about the difference, though, going from as an assistant coach at LCCC to now being an interim head coach again. Obviously, you're only a few days, few weeks of being in this kind of now position. Well, a couple months away from at least getting to the start of women's basketball season at LCCC. But again, from what you've understood of watching Brian, or at least now knowing what it entails of this position, kind of talk, folks, about the vast difference between being an assistant coach to now taking over this head coach role, where, again, it is now, as an assistant, they got you finally on full-time at LCCC, but, again, you were in a part-time role. You also, too, have the Gold's Gym side job as well, too, but now this is pretty much 365, 24/7. You got to focus on and kind of help and build up this program over there at Laramie County.
Yeah. I'm excited to focus on just basketball and just the LCCC program. Like you said, I've been at Gold's, I've been at LCCC. My time's been torn in half a lot of the time. So to give all my effort to this program, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Coming from assistant to head coach, there's a lot more responsibility with it. All eyes are on me now, versus, as the assistant, I could do some of the grunt work and put in my opinion, but ultimately now it's my decision, it's my final word, and just to get the girls to come play and give it their all and give them a year they deserve. There's pressure to it. There's a lot more pressure than just being an assistant.
I was reminded, with this situation when Coach Legursky, after his successful career, stepped down and Coach Madison took over. And again, they had been, on the bench together for, X amount of years. And Coach Salisbury doing the same thing, being with Coach Ficca. You only had a couple of years with Brian Ortmeyer, but again, in the learning process of being the assistant coach, now moving into the head coaching position, do you see things that you did on the floor last year defensively, offensively, pretty much staying the same, or do you have some different ideas that you'd like to throw at the young ladies this season?
Well, we're a lot taller team this year versus last year, so I'm definitely going to take that into account when it comes to offense. Defense, I'm still going to try to keep kind of that same mentality, like we're going to work hard on defense. Our defense is going to be our offense and just grind it out in that sense. And, definitely taking a few things away from last year and then, of course, bringing in what I know and how I've played too. So.
What's your focus for this upcoming season? Whether, again, we got fans in the stands at LCCC. Again, we'll see how the world is come September, October for women's basketball on the JUCO side of things. But what's kind of a goal for you? If, hey, perfect scenario, 2020, 2021, basketball schedule is perfectly fine. We can go here, we can go there and play some just decent basketball. What kind of goals have you set up for your first year? Whether it is making, winning a Region 9 tournament championship or making it in the national tournament, what have you kind of established for yourself of what you want out of this team upcoming this season?
Yeah, I've already thought a lot about the goals, and there's quite a few that come to mind. But the main ones is obviously having a better record than we did last year, having that winning season, getting to regionals. Yes, we're going to set the bar high and try to get to nationals and win regionals. That's always the goal. Making sure the girls academically have a better GPA than last year. In that sense, and just being a player as well and being on the teams and under different coaches. I just want to give the girls a great year. I want them to take this year and remember it and enjoy themselves and find that confidence in their play and just have a really incredible year.
Well, you had 3 sophomores that left the team, Haley, Jakia, and Saraven. So those 3 holes definitely have to be filled from those veterans.
But let's not forget it, Alexis Lamoureux as well.
Alexis Lamoureux, yeah, and I apologize for that. But, I sit down and I look at your situation as you come in right now, too, with this freshman class, and I'm looking back at the tail end of the season, where the team kind of petered out. And really, it was disappointing that, this team was well on its way to 20-plus wins last year, and they just kind of, ran out of gas. And now with your strength and conditioning background, do you see that was one of the things that might have been kind of the downfall last year with this freshman class? Because, again, a lot of these young ladies only play 20 games, maybe a season, and we threw 30 games at them last year.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when you get into a season, keeping your body safe, keeping your body healthy, it's a long season. It takes its toll. I don't think conditioning was our downfall. I think it was just more of a mental aspect, keeping them focused, keeping them going during that season. Obviously, the strength and conditioning is going to be a huge part this year once again. That's one of the things that I'm very grateful for Brian. He really took that I had this background and let me run with it. So, even in the weight room, from the first 2 years, seeing them preseason with the freshmen to postseason, it was incredible just how much they improved in the weight room as well.
You had some disruptions last year in the form of bugs. Thank goodness it wasn't COVID-19. But again, we went through, correct me if I'm wrong, the month of January where we had 2-3 girls that down or on the court not feeling well. So again, I think health is going to be very key for this ball club as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And we had 14 girls last year on the roster, and this year we only have 11. So that's definitely something that, if 1 or 2 get sick, practice, games, we're going to need that steady 5, 6, 7.
Scholarships, do you have, talking with Dr. Henning, do you have any scholarships available for this class?
Brian's done a lot of the recruiting, and we have our incoming freshmen, and most of the scholarship money is already dished out.
Okay.
How much of a reflection of last season do you do with your now sophomores part of this team where, again, you look at what they were able to do, and again, it was a lot of historical firsts of last year, again, as it's still early into the LCCC women's basketball kind of existence of since being brought back, but 2 top 25 victories. You had a top 25 win against Casper in the RAC. So again, on the road, at home, able to get it done against nationally ranked opponents. You got it done in a completely different state that LCCC has not been in Arizona. Again, whether it was Yuma or Phoenix. How much of that reflection back on last season do you kind of go and try to boost that confidence in this year's sophomores of saying, hey, you did this as freshmen. Now a year older, you're wiser, and again, with strength and conditioning getting that much more elevated in these young athletes, hey, we can go above and beyond what we did last season.
Yeah, exactly what you said. We should be striving for bigger and better every single year, right? Casper, we want Casper every season, every game. Those type of teams that are consistently, very good, we want to be that team, right? And the only way to be that team is to knock those teams off. So obviously our freshmen have that experience, so now that they're coming into sophomores, just being able to lead the freshmen and have that high expectation of themselves and of the program, I definitely want to instill this year for sure.
Last year, I think back, and maybe these 2 young ladies kind of felt that pressure at times where they had to carry the world on their back, Haley Anderson and Jakia Wells. And again, they had really remarkable freshman seasons, kind of up-down sophomore years. Do you look at a particular player, and I'm going to just pull out like Abby Giroux, for example. Do you look to build around Abby, or, again, where you were able to penetrate through the inside with her last year, but you also had some remarkable outside shooters? Is it going to be a combination of both, or do you want to build around your bigs?
I think it's going to be a combination of both, just because we do have some good guards this year, and we have some tall guards this year too. Abby's definitely going to be a key player as well. I mean, she was for us last year, so I'm expecting the same from her. She's very motivated, she's very talented, and I know she works hard. So having her come in as kind of that also verbal leader and then on the floor is definitely something. It's hard to say when I haven't seen some of the freshmen play in person since they are, from Spain, and it's just video. But that's one of the things I'm excited for, to see what they can do to help our sophomores and just mold them and see how well they play together.
On the recruiting side of things, now I've seen you out, whether it was at Cheyenne South looking at a few players, or again, you've been out throughout town wherever Brian has kind of sent you to kind of look at the high school level here in the state of Wyoming. Do you feel comfortable, at least, have you kind of built up those relationships with coaches on the high school level, whether it is here in the state of Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado? Have you been able to do that, kind of put your name out there and say, hey, I am with LCCC, hey, I am with the women's basketball program, hey, we want to at least give this opportunity to your athletes? Have you kind of built up those relationships in the past couple seasons?
I've definitely tried. There's a few, I feel, more like in Colorado. Locally here, obviously in Cheyenne, it's easier to get around to. I know the class of 2021 is very talented. So once again, I'm excited to see their season. And then, just being a player, having those connections, knowing veteran coaches, being able to recruit from certain high schools is definitely hopefully going to be in my favor.
What on recruiting, again, final thought from me, and we appreciate you joining us here today. And again, congratulations on the new head coaching position at LCCC. Regarding recruiting, is Wyoming, Colorado, kind of the Rocky Mountain region going to be, your primary focus on getting athletes to LCCC, or do you want to look at where Brian was able to get to Texas or kind of expand it nationwide? What's kind of your primary focus right now, and what you can see kind of future-wise for LCCC?
It's easier to recruit locally just because you can drive and go see them in person and play, but no, branching out to Texas, California, I've played with a lot of different players, New Zealand. I mean, it's incredible how much talent there is out there. So no, I'm not going to cap myself for just local states.
Final thought for me, and again, we're talking with Danielle Rinaldo, who is the new head coach of the Laramie County Community College Lady Golden Eagles. You can't do this all by yourself.
No.
and again, obviously when you were given that head coaching position, there's probably some ears that sparked up about that would probably like to sit down on the bench with you. Have you had that opportunity to interview an assistant coach, or do you have a timetable when you'd like to have one in place?
I believe we will be opening up the position June 1st for applications. So once that gets going, we'll sit down and try to interview and choose one fairly soon.
Have you reached out personally to anybody?
I don't have anybody in mind locally, so we'll see. We'll see who applies.
All righty. Well, Danielle, we want to thank you so much. We wish you all the best. Looking forward to working with you in the upcoming season. And again, let's get that 20-win season. That's what we need right now. Danielle Rinaldo, the new head coach of the Laramie County Community College Lady Golden Eagles. And we are going to take a timeout. We'll be right back after these words.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
With all this newfound time at home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack in a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Drive-thru still open for all your family's favorites with easy ordering on the app and delivery at participating locations with the Taco John's app. At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne. Is the touchscreen on your phone or tablet cracked or broken? Buying a new device could cost up to $1,000. Or you could let the local experts at High West Digital Solutions save you hundreds of dollars. We can replace your touchscreen in as little as a day, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy.
We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
App, Snap, Deposit. It's that easy. No need to go to the bank. Use Mobile Deposit in your Platte Valley Bank app to get your money quicker. And every time you use Mobile Deposit during the month of May, you will automatically be entered to win $100. Try it today at PV Bank, 2, go.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC. For complete contest rules and alternate form of entry, go to www.pvbank.com/mobile deposit.
Taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Got a couple of friends in here. I've known these guys for a long time, and again, they are part of the Daddy of Mall Cheyenne Frontier Days, which would have been the 124th edition. As of yesterday, we found out that Cheyenne Frontier Days has been canceled for the year 2020. And I'm going to bring on CEO Tom Hirsig, along with General Committee Chairman Jim Siler. Again, I've known these guys for a long time. So I'm going to have the microphone first go over to Tom. Tom, you know, you are very close on this. And, you know, I mean, it had to be a lot of sleepless nights for you since COVID-19 was introduced to our part of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's this event, as you well know, Larry, is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. In fact, when we were, you know, it went through a process of Jimmy and the general committee, you know, kind of make a recommendation to our board of directors. And I mean, that's a group of 23 or 4 people that basically had the discussion after we knew all the facts and unanimously voted to not have it this year. And, you know, I was in that room thinking about all the people that were in that room that have been born here in Cheyenne that have never missed a Cheyenne Frontier
And
Days.
we're talking generations of
Yes,
families.
yeah.
You know, Tom, let me throw this out at you, too. When Calgary said no and the Greeley Independent Stampede said no, did that kind of send up caution flags that we would be probably next on the list? I mean, did you kind of have that sneaky suspicion back then?
Yeah, you know, and I think it really was hitting home earlier to us because the concert scene kind of went away faster than the rodeo scene did. So we, you know, of course, we keep our eyes on the concert scene, and I think we were seeing, you know, more and more of those festivals cancel that were probably giving us a better indication real early that, you know, we're a lot like those festivals, that there probably wasn't going to be, you know, lots of hope for us, that we really needed some things to happen. You know, the month of May is what we felt like we needed, you know, some sort of a vaccine or a, you know, at least a good treatment for this, for us to be able to safely have our event. And neither one of those happened, as everybody knows. I think we were hoping for a miracle, right? And we couldn't get there.
Jimmy, I'm going to have you grab the microphone real quick. Let me ask you this question. The thought for me on, and again, Frontier Days, it has all the glitz and glamour associated with it, and we're thankful, you know, as a community that we get to do pancake breakfasts and carnivals and everything else that is associated with Cheyenne Frontier Days. But rodeo is what Cheyenne Frontier Days is all about. Did the thought process ever go through of having rodeo in the arena, maybe without fans? Because these are professional cowboys. They get paychecks for performing in rodeo. And again, Cheyenne is one of the big stops, especially on the PRCA tour.
Oh, you bet, Larry. We discussed it over and over, and you know, I was probably one of the biggest on there saying, good God, I want to have a rodeo. But, you know, for the safety of our volunteers and the safety of our fans and safety of the cowboys and everybody, I just don't know how we would have been able to do it. Especially when you see other rodeos canceling, you know. I'm not certain that I wanted to take on that responsibility of endangering somebody. But especially our cowboys and cowgirls.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I was going to say, at this point in time, yeah, health and safety of everyone involved, whether it is visitors to CFD or, again, the volunteers, and cowboys, athletes, again, those who have to bring in those steers, those horses as well, too. Again, it is something that you all kind of had that make that big decision, so to speak, of, hey, better safe than sorry.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, and exactly, and you know, we went through every scenario we could think of, and it really revolved around the rodeo. But when you think about what our mission statement is to provide an economic impact to this community. If we had a fanless rodeo, we're not bringing anybody to town. We're not making an economic impact. All it was going to do was cost a lot more money to put on a rodeo, and we weren't, you know, you can't have sponsors. And the other thing was, you know, how could we have an event and tell 3/4 of the volunteers we don't need you this year?
Right.
I mean, I think Jimmy and I got to the point, if we're going to go down, we're all going down together.
Right.
How much of this was also, too, again, between CFD, again, whether it is, you know, the committee, but how much was this also, too, talking with Laramie County health officials or, again, state health officials, the governor, and also, too, city staff as well, too, recommendations from the mayor or something like that? Were any of outsider folks also, too, had their voices kind of heard during this kind of decision-making process?
So if you watched the press conference yesterday, we got together with Sheridan Wyo Rodeo, the Casper Central States Fair, the Cody Stampede, Laramie Jubilee Days, Thermopolis, and actually the State Fair was in these conversations. And what we said was, instead of all of us trying to go to our own health people and then go from county to state, let's all get together and let's sit down with the governor and let's have some conversations at a state level to see what, because we all happen about the same time. And, you know, it's unfair to ask anybody to say, you know, we need a recommendation today based on what you think it's going to be like in July. With this, it changes daily. But yeah, we conferred with all the committees around the state, trying to figure out ways to possibly do some things. And, we all kind of came to the same conclusion. And it wasn't just based upon, because the governor set these parameters and we couldn't adhere to them. That's not the case. There certainly are parameters that you have to adhere to, but goes back to Jimmy's point. Ultimately it was safety of the volunteers and putting them at risk, because as you well know, our volunteer force is not that young and there's a lot of them at risk. And, a lot of them said, we hope you have the show, but I don't know that I can help you this year. I have a family member that's at risk and I can't be around 20,000 people. So we started looking at that as we may not have enough people to put this on. And also we rely heavily on the military base. Those groups, that's part of their fundraising is to come, they clean the stands, we pay them. The military, they could make a commitment that those people could come to the park. So, I think we started looking at our resources, and our resources were dwindling, and that was a scary thought with the increased load of sanitizing the park and keep making sure everybody's social distance. It just kind of got a little scary and a little overwhelming that we couldn't pull it off.
It's interesting you mentioned resources, and I'll keep you on this one here, Tom, because I had the conversation many years ago with then General Secretary, I do believe, Dave Johansen, and I said, Dave, heaven forbid anything would ever happen to the community or Cheyenne Frontier Days, and I said, would it be okay if we missed a daddy of them all? And Dave said, we probably had enough resources to, if we had to cancel 2021, would Frontier Days still be a healthy operation? Again, it is a business, and you're there to make a buck or two as well on the grounds as well. So are we okay by bypassing Frontier Days 2020?
Well, of course, a lot of people see those huge night shows that we have, and they think that Cheyenne Frontier Days is this organization that just rolls in cash, right? And we've had the past few years we've done pretty good. Our board has been prudent about taking a look at if we had to cancel a year, what would it take to get through to the next year? I think in their mind they visioned that a tornado came through and knocked the grandstands down in June, and we had to say, we're done. Can we get to the next year? And so they set aside an amount that we needed to save, and that's about what we have saved. We've got about enough to get the show next year, and it's anything beyond that is we would have to really restructure the whole organization to make it work.
Regarding next year for CFD, for the 125th, for fans, again, we're upset that, hey, this is not happening. Again, we've seen the outcry on social media of, again, whether it's they're in for this or against this or whatever. But again, for 2021, for Cheyenne Frontier Days, have you guys set up an established date? Because, again, we know that fans like to, get tickets early or get ready for those events or at least get hotels booked up, because we know how fast those fill up with the amount of fans that come out to Cheyenne for that week-long event. Is there a cutoff date or time here in 2020, 2021, as this thing is a fluctuating, again, as they're saying, hey, there's a second wave possibly of this COVID-19 situation. Have you guys kind of established a date of, yes, 2021's happening. No, 2021 CFD is not happening.
Yeah, I don't think we've got that far. We just, we kind of got through this first phase, and of course, I've had conversations with Houston and Denver, because they got to start planning for January, February events. So, I'm talking to them to see what they're seeing and what they're thinking, but I don't think anybody really knows. I don't think anybody has a clue what this is going to look like. I believe, and I'm not a health expert, but I believe we either have to get a vaccine or there's got to be an effective treatment developed before we go back to, pure normalcy in our lives.
It's interesting. We always used to worry about the animals. Now we got to worry about the humans as well. I'm going to bring Jimmy back on here. Jim, you are the General Committee Chairman. And again, it's a 3-year position that you have, and I know talking to you last year, the excitement building up to the 125th. So we basically say adios to 124, but we come back with 125. And to the common person that goes and sees Frontier Days year in, year out, it's a well-oiled machine, and a lot goes in behind the scenes, which you and your committee members always get together and try to make sure that everything goes on without a hitch. More pressure now since 124 is in the books as a 0, but 125, it's got to match up to like 100, and I remember 100 was pretty doggone big as well.
Yeah, Larry, I really believe that the excitement's already there. We know that our volunteers and our general committee, our staff, our board of directors, everybody has such pride in this event that it's, in my opinion, it's going to be spectacular, and we're gonna put on the best show that we can, and I think it'll be awesome.
As Tom mentioned too, we got to see if Houston gets back on track, Denver gets back on track, and you and the committee, you're all over the place as well too. You're looking at different things, and hopefully, bringing the world's best cowboys and cowgirls to Cheyenne, the best entertainment during our time of Frontier Days. Does this additional time give you an opportunity to, open the books a little bit more and say, hey, now we got an opportunity to go after so-and-so, or let's add this to the roster for 125?
Well, as you probably heard in the press conference, we are bringing some of the same acts that we had this year. They've agreed to come back next year, which is good. I mean, they're top. They're the top of the line, and we're real proud and happy to have them coming back. But we actually started planning, just like we do for every show. As soon as 2-3 months before the show is even to start, we're planning for next year. So we've already been planning for the 125th, and so you're absolutely right. We want to make sure we put on the best show, and we want to make sure that it takes us into the future.
My final question, again, we appreciate both of you coming in and talking about Cheyenne Frontier Days, as this is kind of the hot button topic right now. Again, as everyone here in the city of Cheyenne, across the state of Wyoming, again, very saddened by the news, hoping for that 124th. Again, it is a historical first that, again, out of the 100 or at least century-long existence of this event, again, it has never been canceled up until a global pandemic like this had to kind of wipe it on out. Regarding kind of at least the contestants, and also to all even toss out the vendors as well too, where again, as the city of Cheyenne, but also to those who do set up there at Frontier Park, those at the Indian Village, again, those who are underneath the stands who do sell wares, again, those cowboys that also too have to make a living off of the paydays that they can get out there. Are anything set in place, so to speak, for these vendors, for these athletes that were anticipated to come make a few bucks here of that 124th? As we see in the pro sports, again, some have kind of helped out, at least some of those ownerships of saying, hey, we'll kind of, since you're not here, we'll still find a way to give you some monies to kind of help you out during these kind of strange times. Is anything like that set up, or
No, I mean, when you look at like an NFL team, I mean, even a big NFL team or an NBA team, they've got maybe 50 or 60 participants. We have 1,600 contestants that come here, so trying to make some sort of economic impact for them, it would be almost impossible. The vendors, I know that we're working on trying to do maybe a Facebook page for them, so because there's a lot of people that come to Cheyenne and they want to buy specific things from those vendors, and we need to make it accessible for them. But I think, Jimmy, I think what's interesting is what you want to do with your committee in the short term. I mean, since we don't have a show, what are you guys going to do?
We're looking at a lot of options with the committee, but we also want to look about getting downtown. We want to get into the community, and we want to see what we can do to help the community. If we're not going to be putting on a show this year, let's see what we can do to get down and help our community, help some of the businesses, help some of our local residents. How can we get involved to, if we can't make an economic impact, why can't we help them out? Because they're going through hard times.
Yeah.
Tom, one final thought for you, and again, being the head man at Cheyenne Frontier Days, and again, this is a very unique time in our history, and like you said, this affects generations of families that have been involved with Cheyenne Frontier Days. I guess in your situation as the main man, you got to start looking ahead to 2021. Again, you're going to look at other venues, Denver, Houston. What other things, as a CEO, do you need to be on top of as we get ready for the 2021 show?
Well, I mean, you have to become, besides knowing how to plan events, now you've got to really be in the health. You're going to have to get up to speed on everything that's happening in the health care as far as COVID and entertainment events. So, that's one new thing, a very big thing that's going to be added to our plate to make sure that we understand what it all means. And it changes day to day, as you all know, keeping up with, the governor and how the state keeps reopening. Hopefully we have a better indication in 3 or 4 months of what maybe the winter can look like. There's concert promoters that are actually saying that they don't think there'll be any great big stadium tours like an Invesco or somebody like that till maybe fall of next year. So they're guessing along with everybody else right at this point in time. So I think it's just keeping the pulse of all of the industries that we represent, from rodeo contestants to night shows and concerts. Just keeping keeping up to date on everything that's going on with them.
All right, Jimmy Siler, I want to thank you so much again. He is the General Committee Chairman, along with CEO Tom Hirsig, joining us here from Cheyenne Frontier Days. We are going to take a time out. We'll come back right after this. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Attention, good residents of Goshen and Laramie counties. Cheyenne Urological, providing over 30 years of top quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence, has now opened a satellite clinic in Torrington at 524 College Drive. Yes, the same wisdom, compassion, and expertise that has served Cheyenne is now available in Torrington. So if you live in the area, save yourself time by calling Cheyenne Urological, now at 307-635-4131. That's 307-635-4131.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
With all this newfound time at home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Drive-thru still open for all your family's favorites with easy ordering on the app and delivery at participating locations with the Taco John's app. At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne. Are you thinking about buying a new water heater? You could spend $1,300 or more on a gas-fired water heater. Or you could spend $0 on a top-of-the-line electric water heater from High West Energy. That's right, $0. High West members can upgrade from gas to electric without spending a penny. Don't you wish all decisions were this easy? Go to highwestenergy.com to learn more or call 307-245-3261. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Hop into the KRAE Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 KRAE, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480krae.com.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Well, after a busy first hour, we want to welcome you back for hour number 2 as we will be chatting roller derby coming up in a little bit. We want to thank all our wonderful sponsors. I'm going to run down our list here quickly. Taco John's of Cheyenne, 5 locations for you. South Greeley Highway, downtown on KRAE Avenue, Pershing and Ridge, along with Delrange and Ridge, and on Yellowstone Road. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Again, you can do your buying or leasing online or right there on the lot. Give Key of Cheyenne a call at 775-0123. Platte Valley Bank times 2. Banking done right through those convenient drive-thrus. 2 locations for you on Vanda High and again over at the corner of College and Pershing. For more info, call 778-0021. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange across from Powersfield and Menards. 2 convenient drive-thrus, yes, curbside service, and use the Chick-fil-A app. Get everything all taken care of right there. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Again, they have a convenient drive-thru, or you can do your business inside with the social distance thing. And again, Medicap Pharmacy is next door to Texas Roadhouse on Bluegrass Circle. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. They've been at this for over 50 years. Bruce and the crew invite you to come on in. Yes, you can do that. You can come on into the sales side on the left side. Service is on the right side, 638-6468. Lennox Auto Body over on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Hey, you might want to give Lennox a call if you need for them to take a look at your vehicle, or again, you want to get it set up to go to the Auto Glass and Detail Center, 634-6608. Again, founded by Dick Lennox, tradition carried on by his daughter Heather for over a quarter century. They've been taking care of our vehicle needs. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, where Tim and the crew, again, are taking care of your banking situations Monday through Friday. Again, you give them a call at 632-3500. Mondello's Pizzeria is right across the street. They're open 7 days a week. Monday through Saturday, they open at 11. On Sundays, they open at noon. Again, Paisan cuisine at its best. Number 1 pie in Wyoming. Top 10 in the nation by the Food Network, folks. And once you have Joe's Pizza, you'll understand why it is still the best here in this state. Again, you can call 778-6068 for takeout, 778-6068 for takeout. And we will go to a scoreboard It's not lit up, but it's going to tell us what's on the way, and it's brought to you by Pepsi.
As I say, it will be Saturday. We got more than most states can say right now. Again, coming up this weekend here in town at Powers Field, post 6, the Sixers will be back. Again, the varsity squad will be in town. Again, regarding fans, fans, you can attend this game, but you got to sit on the outfield fence line. Again, you cannot enter the stands due to at least city and county, at least guidelines. So, again, only media and personnel are able to go in. But, again, you are able to attend, but you just got to watch from a distance. But either way, though, post 6, the Sixers will be in action coming up this Saturday at Powers, 12 o'clock noon tip-off time, or at least start time for post 6 versus USA Prime. And then the other contest for post 6 this Saturday happening at 5 p.m. will be against the Rocky Mountain Oysters. Again, both games happening at Powers Field. Sunday as well, too. They will see those two teams Sunday at 10 a.m. against Rocky Mountain Oysters, and Sunday at 3 p.m. USA Prime taking on post 6 at Powers Field. So that's the scoreboard. Again, baseball in action with post 6 coming up this weekend here in town.
And it's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We're back after this.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
If you're looking for fun and adventure, Kia of Cheyenne is the place to start, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will help you find it. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will give you what you need to make things happen. This vehicle has plenty of power, all-season traction, safety features, technology, and comfort for any road you're on. The Kia Sorento offers plenty of standard features for the money, and we're all about saving you money. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. Hi, this is Larry Proetti with an invitation to bring your vehicle into Cars for service and minor repairs that are done with precision and care. Now, I've known John and his staff for a long time, and when it comes to tune-ups, replacing shocks, fixing fuel pumps, replacing timing chains, working on heating and air conditioning units, or even just a good old-fashioned oil change, I only trust my car when it comes to service to be under the care of Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. They are a TechNet professional, where their work is covered by a nationwide limited repair warranty that extends across North America for 24 months or 24,000 miles, whichever comes first. For more information, check out technetprofessional.com on the World Wide Web. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service always goes one step above the rest when it comes to the care of your vehicle. 604 West Lincoln Way in Cheyenne, open Monday through Friday. Call and set up an appointment at 632-0498.
When you support small business, you're supporting a dream. Now more than ever, we need to support each other and our communities. Use your Platte Valley Bank Visa debit or credit card at a local merchant today. Or better yet, use Digital Wallet for a contactless way to pay. Add your Platte Valley Bank card to Apple Pay, Google Pay, or Samsung Pay. Shop small and bank local.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, partly sunny, expected daytime high of 70 degrees with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms developing later today. Partly cloudy for tonight. Our low drop down to 48 degrees. Tomorrow, Friday, mostly sunny. Look for a daytime high near 80 degrees with a chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Mostly clear Friday night, our low down to 53. And for Saturday, mostly sunny, expected daytime high near 78.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. It's so nice to have guests in studio. Again, thank you to Danielle Rinaldo, head coach, the interim head coach at LCCC for the Lady Golden Eagles, and most recently Tommy Hirsig and Jim Siler join us from CFD. Now we bring in Anna Escamilla, who joins us, and we're going to talk Cheyenne roller derby. Again, and I apologize for being old. I am a fan of roller derby back in the day when I lived in the East Bay area, where we all hooked up behind the Bay Area Bombers, or the San Francisco Bay Area Bombers back in the day. But this Cheyenne roller derby is so different because, as we were talking off air, that was choreographed. That's almost like wrestling.
Yeah.
The WWE. This roller derby is something entirely different. So enlighten us to our audience. Tell us a little bit about Cheyenne roller derby.
So Cheyenne roller derby, we go by the rules of the WFTDA. We have many pages of rules and regulations we have to follow.
Now, what's the WFTDA?
It's just basically the organization that founded roller derby, the new age roller derby. And so they're the ones that put all the rules and regulations in place, so that way we have a safe game atmosphere, and then we can gain our points through those rules.
Is roller derby points still the same way, where I can't remember how many you had on the floor at the time or on the rink, and you would score points by getting through the other team? You kind of whizzed your way through, and you picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and they would try to keep you out. Is it similar to that, or explain to me how you get points?
Yeah, it's exactly that same way, as far as like you have to pass the opposing players to get the points for your team.
So you could get bruised up in trying to get a point.
Oh yeah, because the jammers, they're the ones that the blockers are going after all the time. Because you don't want that jammer to get through, because if that jammer gets through, then, that team gets points.
Go ahead, Nick.
I'll take
care of your dog.
Well, again, as the OSO wants to be a part of the interview process the entire day as we try to get that taken care of. But regarding the roller derby, though, again, as we you reached out and wanted us to partner up, where, hey, we were glad to do it, and, again, support Cheyenne roller derby here in town. Unfortunately, again, the pandemic hit at the worst time, and, again, right now there are no derbies happening here in the city of Cheyenne. Roller City, I think, about a couple weeks ago, if I stand corrected, again, just opened back up for kind of, at least it seemed like, to public use. But regarding 2020 roller derby schedule for the Capitals, for just Cheyenne roller derby in general, is the season kind of a wash, or, as we see with American Legion baseball, softball, these summertime events, is there still hope, though, that we may have a roller derby schedule here in 2020?
Well, I know through the WFTDA, they put out return to play rules and regulations. So they're still in the process of seeing if we can do it safely this year or not. But as of the Capitals, the Cheyenne Roller Derby, and the Frontiers, we're just kind of sitting back and recruiting right now until we hear back from the WFTDA.
So does that limit, though, of where we know American Legion baseball with Cheyenne Post 6, they're kind of regulated here to the state of Wyoming, at least these borders here of this state? Whether it is Colorado, Nebraska, a South Dakota team says, hey, we're open up. Hey, we're following all these guidelines. If the Capitals want to come up and play in South Dakota, down in Denver, Fort Collins, do you still have that option, though, to have a potential season or at least some sort of games this year?
Yeah, right now we don't have that option, just for the pure fact that we are kind of limited just for social distancing, and only working on our sorry, I forgot the word. We're just working on just our basic skills for right now, just for the pure fact of the social distancing. We can't do contact. So unless the WFTDA and the governor says, yeah, you guys can go ahead and start mingling and playing games, and we'll readdress. But as at this time, our season's pretty much washed.
And, if this was the perfect world and the Capitals were skating right now, how many teams are involved in roller derby for the ladies?
Well, Are you talking about like Wyoming or in
Oh,
general?
well, how many teams would be on your schedule if you had that perfect schedule?
Well, we usually, when we have our bouts, we try to have like one every 2 to 3 months, just because it takes a lot to put into them, because we have to have our volunteers, we have to have our sponsors, we have to have other teams come in from other places, or we have to go to them. And so, there's so much involved in the bouts that we have at least one every couple months. So we would probably have like 4 or 5.
So you got bouts here that you, at least teams here in the state of Wyoming, or at least in this region. Now, in other sports, as you're talking, hey, it's kind of a governing body like an NFL or baseball or hockey or anything like. Again, you got to follow rules, restrictions, all that fun stuff. For roller derby, especially here in the city of Cheyenne, for those, as again, you're talking about recruiting right now, for those individuals that have been interested about it, do you have regional tournaments, national tournaments, if you are able to get to that point and are at that point? Do those athletes, those ladies, have that shot to compete against a nationwide opponent?
Well, for Cheyenne Roller Derby, we do not do national, just because we are a rec team, which means we're just a local team. But we can go against other teams that rate the same as we do. In Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, Montana, the closest that we can go. So
again, and I'm glad you mentioned you're a rec team. Again, you're not professionals at this. And again, most of you probably are moms and have jobs as well. But when do you guys get the opportunity to practice?
Well, the juniors team, they have their practices on Tuesday nights from 6 to 8. And that's also the same time as the boot camp. And then on Thursday nights are the adults, the Kappa dolls, and our practice is from 7 to 9.
And what we were talking about off air, and we were kind of laughing about it as well. You don't do inline. You go on the regular 4 wheels when you're skating, just simply for the fact it makes a big difference when you're going around the track.
Correct. Yeah.
So again, as you look at the Capitals, and hopefully things will kind of return to normal, do you have your team in place, or are there other openings for a lady that's listening today saying, "Hey, gosh, I love roller derby"? Can anybody still join the team, or is the team intact?
The team is not intact, unfortunately. We had a couple people out for injury, not roller derby related. They hurt themselves at work or walking or something. But anywho, that's why we have the boot camp, so we can do the recruiting, because we are down in numbers. Plus, some people have had some issues with jobs, of course, with the COVID. And so we're kind of slow at getting everybody back, but everybody's coming back slowly. And anybody that's listening, we encourage you to come to the boot camps. We're a great team. We'll teach anybody anything. Even if you don't know how to skate, we'll teach you how to skate.
So let's talk more information, get in kind of the fine details of that boot camp. When is it happening? Where is it happening? Costs, and also, too, with restrictions, where, again, here in the city of Cheyenne, or at least here in Laramie County, we know that, hey, fans, or at least, as we see on the baseball side, fans can attend at least contests. We're kind of regulated to how many people can be in an establishment. Are there other, at least, guidelines and restrictions as well, too, regarding personnel, social distancing as well, too, in this boot camp? Just talk about in fine detail this boot camp upcoming.
Yeah. So the boot camp starts next Tuesday, which I believe is the 2nd. And like I said, on Tuesdays, that's the juniors team. So the Frontiers, they're going to be doing their boot camp from 6 to 8 o'clock at night. And anybody's welcome to come, but we do have a restriction of 25 people. And that's including the team members we already have and the coaches that we have in place. So as soon as we get to the 25th person, then anybody after that will be turned away, unfortunately.
Let's talk about the kids that get the opportunity. Give me the age group for the young people that get a chance to be a part of the younger version of roller derby.
Our kids, they range from 7 to 17, and they do amazing. Our young kids, they're being taught by our older kids, and they do such a good job. Our older kids are, they're really, really good.
Yeah, they're established on skates.
Yeah.
Again, you mentioned 2 sponsors. And unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of tough right now during this time to run around and ask people to do sponsorship. But Again, obviously, Roller City, one of your biggest sponsors for allowing this to happen. But when you've had that opportunity to skate in the past, put a little plug in and say thank you to some of your sponsors.
Yeah, we have quite a few sponsors, actually. We have Roller City, obviously. We have Cricket Wireless, Albertsons, Pepsi, Underwood Flour, Gifts, Christine's Crohn's Photography, Ernie November, and Olympus Game and Cosmic in Cheyenne, and then Smile Dog Embroidery are all of our sponsors that we have currently right now. And then I want to elaborate a little bit more about the boot camp for the adults.
Yes, I wanted you to do that.
Yeah, the boot camp for the adults will be on Thursday from 7 to 9. And like I said, the same thing applies as far as the 25 people that are allowed in the building. So anybody after the 25 will be turned away. But we'll have some kind of sign-up sheet so that way maybe we can get them in later on when the amount of people allowed increases.
Now, do you have a Facebook site, a website? How can people get a hold of you or anybody within the organization just to get set up and possibly attend the boot camp?
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page as well as an Instagram page, and it's Cheyenne Roller Derby. That's our blanket name and then under that we have the capitals and the frontiers. We also have a website that's CheyenneRollerDerby.net. And you can find all the information you want on there about our teams, about the adults and the juniors teams, as well as you can find the information to print out, like our waivers and also our media waivers as well. So that way we can have media at the rink.
Anna, we want to thank you so much. We do appreciate you coming in studio with us. Sorry about the Wonder Dog getting a little nutsoid here. That's what happens when he's in a cone, folks. Obviously,
well, he's like the rest of us, where he's been cooped up due to the social distancing and everything, so he's not used to other people.
It's the pain medicine starting to wear off.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Anna, thank you so much for joining us here on 1480 KRAE. Best of luck to the Capitals and again to the roller derby program in general. And we got our fingers crossed that we'll be able to get back skating on the rink and folks will be able to see you. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more right after this on 1480 KRAE.
With all this newfound time at home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Drive-thru still open for all your family's favorites with easy ordering on the app and delivery at participating locations with the Taco John's app.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Even during a pandemic, emergencies still happen. In the event of a stroke, heart attack, or cardiac arrest, minutes matter. Cheyenne Regional Medical Center wants you to know we are still here for you. Emergency responders and our medical professionals have implemented additional safety precautions to keep everyone safe. So if you are having a stroke, heart attack, or cardiac arrest, don't hesitate. Call 911. It could save your life. Cheyenne Regional Medical Center stands ready to help.
Here, the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Oh, we had an opportunity today to cover basketball. We had an opportunity to cover rodeo and most recently roller derby here on 1480 KRAE. Going back to CFD, I know you wanted to say something about that.
Well, we can definitely talk and give our thoughts on the canceling of the 124th, where again you had, as we're seeing these decisions again, where it is kind of that bipolar, effect across this country. Again, whether it is, hey, baseball starting back up, whether it is CFD being canceled, where again it's pretty much of, hey, you're in favor of it, you're against the decision. It's kind of that split down the middle decision right now in this country of, hey, regarding the kind of COVID-19. But you saw that a lot of people were kind of upset, hurt, sad by the cancel, right. At least the canceling. But you had to figure that it was going to happen
again.
And again, we're talking, where CFD, if it was wide open, and the amount of people that come to CFD, if they again, I think where CFD were, and again, even Tom talked about it, Jimmy talked about it, of, hey, we can't really go at 25%, we can't go 50. No, right. If we're going to do this, we got to go full 100. Well, if you do that, you bring hundreds of thousands of people here to the city of Cheyenne that pack up those hotels and go out to these restaurants that are all out and about, where, again, they're going to intermingle. And, again, whether your opinions on COVID are this or that, again, it doesn't matter. Again, it is something where, for Cheyenne Frontier Day's sake, again, in the end, they're a business.
It's amazing.
It's a business that runs a lot of risk of, hey, if you're going to bring all these people and then something kind of spikes up, it's something that I even talked about even on the local side with, local sports or baseball, softball. Hey, you got to play with an side of caution of, hey, if things start to spike, if deaths, which again, in that scenario you wish would not happen at all, but again, you can't take that risk right now. But if that were to happen, it is a business. It is something that they run a major risk if something like that happens during that week-long process of, hey, could it fill up Cheyenne Regional Medical Center with new cases or something like that? Again, it makes sense on a business standpoint and also, too, for a safety standpoint. You can't do something like that
Here's
right now.
where we're at, Nick. And again, it's amazing that one little troll, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has basically killed this country. And again, even small-town America. We are small-town America here in Cheyenne. But again, you look at Ohio State. When they're already talking about football season, they're talking 100,000-plus stadium where they're thinking maybe 22 to 25,000. That's in September.
But again, that's still going to be revenue where I think Ohio State, again, these universities that make monies in elsewhere, again, where Ohio State, you got big sponsorship deals of, hey, here's Nike, Adidas, whatever the hell they partner with, and again, all these other eyeballs that get on their TV deals as well too. Cheyenne Frontier Days, yes,
they've got corporate sponsors. They got a lot of corporate sponsors.
But again, I think compared to where Ohio State is probably a more national brand, has more national attention, has probably more national monies than what Cheyenne Frontier Days does. Not saying that, again, Frontier Days does not make a good amount of money, but it is something that I think Ohio State, or at least you're talking college athletics, especially some of these big ones, can survive something like this and survive with putting in less amount of people. It's kind of like UW as well, too, at War Memorial. Yeah. And again, a recent at least statement or at least comments by AD Tom Berman saying, hey, there's a good possibility that War Memorial Stadium, at least for all of football season, might be 1/3 full.
Yeah.
And, again, that is something where, again, it doesn't matter what your thoughts on are on, at least regarding COVID-19, but it is the reality of the situation where, again, you're seeing more folks kind of err on the side of caution right now.
Well, you're looking at if this were to happen, and if they did the social distancing practicing, you're looking at a 17,000-seat arena seats. And again, not talking up front where you go for the concerts. And you're having people sitting 6 feet away from each other. That's 2 seats. You're sitting 2 seats away from your next group of people,
but
so
again,
to speak.
you got, for Frontier Days, we all know there's one main gate that you got to filter in all of those people. How are you going to make sure of, again, whether it is a 17,000 seat arena or however they did it, again, you still got to filter and funnel all individuals through one gate, where, again, that's going to kind of break up that social distancing. You don't have umpteenth amount of room out there. It gets into very tricky and complex logistics that I wouldn't doubt that Tom, Jimmy, and again, that entire committee kind of looked into of how do we do this in a safe way, or the more important question is it possible to do it in a safe way that makes sure that even folks that are still a little timid on this saying, hey, and make sure that they're going to feel safe too.
I told you, and I felt this way once that the Calgary Stampede is huge. Okay, it's not a mom and pop type of thing.
Before Calgary, again, we have at least the college national finals rodeo up in Casper canceled before that. So again, that was kind of the first domino that then fell,
and again,
at least kind of fell down after
and then
it.
Greeley, Independent Stampede, Greeley has come up to Cheyenne Frontier Days for years and years and years and tried to obtain information to make their rodeos much better. Well, that happens through the 4th of July weekend. And they called it right as Calgary did. And I kind of got that suspicion. And that's why I asked Tom that, did the caution flags go up? I asked Tom Hirsig that question, and it was like, I kind of had that sneaky suspicion that Frontier Days was not going to be a go. And with the announcement coming out yesterday on May 27th, on May 27th, Nick, we're talking we're talking actually 3 months away.
2.
Yeah,
June,
2 months
July.
away, June and July. Boy, if everything was perfect, it would be a tough go to get people to come to town. First,
not necessarily.
It'd be a tough go because of the economics of the country right now. And again, we have our tri-state cooperation, Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming. They are always good for Cheyenne Frontier Days. That's what makes the success of the rodeo. But we also thrive on new visitors from all of the 48 contiguous U.S. states. I've seen Alaska, Hawaii, and the world.
I still think, though, if they were to put it on, though, if it went 100% go, you would still have decent amount of crowds. I honestly believe that you would still have a way to pack up those
Would be the
stands.
only thing going on.
Yeah, again, I think
Yeah.
those fans, or at least those people, even if they weren't rodeo fans, hey, this big event's happening up in Cheyenne, Wyoming for an entire week. You can go out, go have fun. Again, if they brought in the carnival, you have all the bars open, restaurants here in town, it's a full go. You would still have fans come out. You would still have people pack up that place without a doubt. And again, I think it is something that, yes, it was all these intangible factors of, again,
he mentioned the volunteers.
Driving folks out here, packing up those hotels. Yeah, volunteers, vendors as well, too. Again, it's not like all those volunteers and vendors out there are spry, young, people, or
you're talking generations of volunteers
and again,
at Frontier Days.
They're not all under 30 like I am or something like that. Again, no, there's various mix of ages, genders, all that fun stuff. So again, it is something for the greater good, or at least in the general kind of spectrum. Hey, you got to make sure that everyone's safe, everyone's healthy. Again, not just fans, not just Cowboys, not committee, not media. It's vendors. It's fans.
It's all trickled down.
Absolutely. So
I mean, even from the carnival grounds too. And again, and Tom and Jimmy expressed that here in our program. Safety is the most important thing right now, especially, and it's always first and foremost for Frontier Days. But this year, it's safety with an exclamation point by it.
And again, you got to understand that this is a business. This is a business that operates off of money. It's also to a business that has to, abide by regulations, by guidelines, but also it's a business, as I alluded to early on, that hey, if Cheyenne sees a spike during that time, or again, a few days after that week-long 124th potential CFD to happen here in town. Again, whether it was in cases, whether it was a spike in deaths, again, all eyes, all fingers are going to be pointed to CFD. It's going to be pointed to that committee chair, those committee chairs up there saying, you did this.
Well, it'd be,
and again,
it'd be pointed towards us, the city of Cheyenne.
But
Frontier
again,
Days.
I still think Frontier Days would take a lot of that blame, though, if that scenario were to happen, though. And again, you'd be lying if you don't think it would happen.
Well, I think the state of Wyoming would get the biggest black eye because, again.
But again, what event would be happening during that time that would go and alert folks on that?
I understand that, though. But again.
And again, you don't want that bad PR.
I know, but before they could put it on, they'd have to have about 5 different people signing off on it, and everybody would be feeling guilty if that would happen. But they didn't do it. So that's it's
again,
toast.
It's official that, yes, no CFD is happening, no partial rodeo, no nothing at all. It is pretty much done. You're focusing on 125th, which hopefully will happen in 2021 in that month of July. But as of right now, for this year, for 2020, as everything else is kind of falling at the wayside, and again, your opinions on it, if it should, if it's not. Again, the fact is it's not happening. But now the reality kind of sets in here in the city of Cheyenne. And again, for businesses, for folks in town, where, again, that week-long event is kind of a big – it's something that we heavily rely on. And again, this goes back to our conversation a few weeks ago when we had the mayor on saying, hey, this could be a possibility. What plan is in place to make sure that, hey, this city does not fall off the edge of the map? Because now we go into some sort of economic tailspin because there is no way to generate outside tourist revenue as we've done for 124 years.
Right. And the deal is, too, we don't think of just our tourists coming to town for the final 2 weeks of July. We have tourists coming in right around June. You know, and again, a lot of these smaller facilities, you know, and I can pick on motels, you know, a lot of these folks need that tourist business.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen? I mean,
again, it's not just hotels. It's not just, you know, it's not just
restaurants and bars. Everybody's going to feel the effect.
You got the Wrangler, you got the Boot Barn that probably relies heavily on it. Again, other
vendors that would come to town. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody's going to be affected. And even when I asked Tom the question, too, same thing, where I posed the question years ago to then General Secretary Dave Johansen. You know, there's money in the bank.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not gobs of riches.
Yeah, it's not billions.
So basically, like Larry Proetti and KYY and KRAE, I don't have gobs of money in the bank right now. You know, the funds are dwindling every day. But that our job is still to be here. We're still, quote, essential. And again, you know, we're still trying to hopefully get advertiser ABCD to at least let people know that they are open for business and they do want your business. But again, this is going to have a serious, I don't think it's going to be a light downfall because, again, Frontier Days makes their decision here in the end of May. There's other dominoes that will fall. And that will be stuff that goes on in June, and there will be stuff that goes on in August. It could go as far as September, activities that go on. Again, whether it's downtown, on the plaza is basically toast.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen out on the grounds. After Frontier Days, we don't know about the Laramie County Fair. I mean, you know, the fair is probably history.
As of right now, again, the only fair event
is the state fair.
Is the state fair, which again is in August, but again, only time will tell if that will eventually dwindle out. But that's the only kind of outdoor event, at least, you know, regarding or at least surrounding kind of a rodeo-esque feeling that is still happening. Again, Sheridan, Laramie Jubilee,
Cody.
Cody.
You go right down the
everything
list,
in the state rodeo-wise, and that was even including before all this. Again, the College National Finals Rodeo is done.
And how does that affect our neighbors to the east? I'm thinking of Sidney with the Cheyenne County Fair. I'm thinking of Kimball with their little 2-day rodeo that they have in August.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have the info here in front of me if it's done. Don't you think they're keeping an eye on what happened here at Cheyenne Frontier Days?
And again, this is something that I think I talked about it on, or at least on social media, where breaking that news that at least before the governor's at least announcement, it came out again. The mayor kind of leaked out that information to the AP, and then it kind of spread it from there. But this is something that is going to have a ripple effect, not just, again, as you're kind of alluding to, not just here in the city of Cheyenne, but again, Laramie County in general, but it's rippling the state of Wyoming, Nebraska, surrounding states as well, too. It's going to be felt in a big, big way. And again, you also, too, and that's why I kind of brought up that thought of, this is, again, for us here in town, but also, too, what about these Cowboys that, again, they don't have a guaranteed salary.
No, their paycheck comes from Frontier Days.
From doing these events, again, at Laramie, at Cheyenne, at Greeley, at Calgary, wherever the hell it may be. They got to rely on these events to be open to make that money. Well, they're
basically out of work.
Yeah, they're out of work.
The good news for a lot of these cowboys and our cowgirls that do the barrels, they live on ranches.
Yeah.
They're part of ranching families, so most of them. And
but again, those ranches come at a heavy cost. Where again, those equipment can break down. Again, you know it from being in media and again knowing these electronics of how expensive. But again, farm equipment, hey, that still comes at a pretty penny. Where
no, I understand. But the thing is,
those
at
checks kind of may go to that expense,
or just living all together.
Yeah.
You might be out on your own right now. So again, everybody's getting hurt by this. And again. It's amazing, and I'm sorry to say this, and I won't go political, but it's amazing how one person has basically shut down this country, and I'm sorry, you're going to like it or not, it's killing off one American city after another because of, again, this is a horrible virus. No one's going to take anything away from it, but the thing is, did we over panic? Because again, we're never going to be the same, Nick. Your generation, me, I'm not going to be here much longer. And the thing is, your generation's going to have to live with this the rest of your life because it's never going to be the same again.
And again, we'll see about that. Again, will things be normal of post, or at least we'll say, October 2019, where this thing was not even, existed on this planet. We'll see if life can get to that. Something tells me confidence-wise that it's not going to happen immediately, but you will find a way to get back to that normalcy where, again, stadiums
I wish
are packed.
We will.
I think it will. Again,
yeah, and again.
Economically, this is where, again, looking on the local side here in the city of Cheyenne, again, talking with Mayor Orr about, hey, do we have a plan in place, or has those talks been in the works with your city officials, against Cheyenne Frontier Days, whoever it may be, on the economic side of, if this thing doesn't happen, do we have something to make sure that,
is there a backup plan?
That local, again, non-corporate businesses here in Cheyenne, which there's plenty of, there's a lot of them in here, are they going to be able to survive this in some way that the city can kind of help out and make sure, hey, that money's that they're missing out on, find a way back into their doors?
Nope.
And we'll see.
We'll
see.
There was nobody there for us in the beginning part of March except for the feds, in my case. Okay, here's a situation now where the state of Wyoming, this would be the governor. He's going to have to pony up to the bar. Now, he got $1.25 billion from the feds.
Okay, I'll say Governor. Yeah, Governor Gorder has to step up in this situation again, not just for Cheyenne, but in the state,
for the state
in whole, at least in general. But again, on the local side here in the city of Cheyenne, though, again, all eyes are going to be on Mayor Orr and that city council.
But
at least that city council staff.
What can they do, though, Nick?
Okay, but again, it is going to be something that they're going to be pressured on right now. Of where, hey, our biggest moneymaker of a year is now gone. Where do we find these funds? How are we going to make sure that, again, we can still survive as a business, or again, whoever can keep, money coming in.
Okay,
food
but
on
here's
their table.
business 1A for you, Nick. Larry Proetti's business not making any money. Larry Proetti's business not sending any tax money to the city.
Yeah,
the city is going to feel that effect too.
Yeah.
So for every business that's not doing that Frontier Days business, they're not receiving any tax dollars.
And it becomes that vicious cycle of, again.
Who do you cut? Where do you cut? What do you cut?
Yeah.
So the thing is, again, it's got to go to the top first. It's got to go to our governor.
Yeah.
He's going to have to pony up to the bar now where he shut down basically his second major city, in addition to Casper. He shut down Cheyenne Frontier Days, which was, again, this is mid-June, Nick. This is when things start happening around here. Mid-June till about the end of August. And this is shut down. Tourism in Cheyenne basically was postponed yesterday.
Tourism, it's not going to be, again, you already saw it. I had a few of my friends come up from the state of Colorado where, again, they're still kind of on that not so much shut down phase, but they're not as wide open as the state of Wyoming. So again, Memorial Day weekend, you're going to find folks that come up here where, hey, restaurants are open. Hey, I don't have to wear a mask or do this, do that. I can go to parks. I can go to Yellowstone. Again, I do believe Yellowstone and Devil's Tower are still open, or at least have been recently.
Yellowstone, there's 2 entrances that were open.
So, again, there's options, though, for, again, where we are, again, for folks in, California, Illinois, New York, some of these states that are still stay-at-home, lockdown, where they haven't been out of the house for however long, or at least when they go out of the house, it's a very limited stint. Is it something that people get to that point of stir crazy of, hey, I'll come out to Wyoming, it's wide open. If I got to go see a lake and go chill out there or go hike or go see the plains or just get out in general and just travel, I think you're going to see that it's not going to be as major as CFD of years past, but I still think those tourism dollars are going to get here, but it's not going to be as massive as that week-long event.
And again, I don't know all the particulars right now, but I can give you Nebraska, for example. Their their Parks and Game Commission basically has got things shut down till mid-June. Okay? And again, they're going to probably open up the same way that Wyoming did, with Wyoming residents going first. They're trying to keep the outsiders out. Remember, we had that situation of Coloradans coming up fishing, getting licenses, and it's like, well, you're
a couple of weeks go by, and then they said, hey, just have fun.
Yeah, you're messing with the quarantine.
Yeah.
So again,
and that's why I said back in the day, and I'll still say it now. If people are going to find a way to not so much skirt, again, it's not a law, it's not a rule of, hey, cool, great about your guideline, I'm still going to do my thing. And that's what you're kind of seeing right now, and that's why I still believe that you'll have tourism, at least tourism here in the state of Wyoming, if we kind of keep that stint of, hey, we're kind of opened up, even if it is kind of in a slight percentage, but hey, we're a little bit better off than the state of Colorado is. Hey, those Coloradans, those Nebraskans, South Dakotans, whoever it may be, might come on, trickle on in.
Well, see, I'm going to disagree.
But again, it's not going to be the hundreds of thousands that come in for an entire week in the late week of June.
See, here's the part I disagree with you. Like Orlando, Florida, where Disney World says they're going to try to open here by the 1st of July. Okay, so that's going to give people a reason to go south. Okay, if they do get baseball going, or if they get hockey going, whatever.
Baseball is probably no.
But I'm just saying, it gives people another option. Hey, I get my baseball, I can go to Arizona. I can go to...
All right, so it gives people an option, but it is something...
But why would you want to come to Wyoming? Just because it's open spaces?
That's why I said more in this local region, though, of, hey, again, do I expect, someone from the state of New York to come out this way? Again, not going to say it's possibly a no. Again, maybe they want to go to Yellowstone and find a way to come on out. But, again, folks out in this region, hey, instead of going down to DIA or entering any other airport of where that's still kind of a tricky situation, instead it's driving distance, I'll just come across the border and just have fun out here in Wyoming, or at least whatever state's out in this way that is opened up a little bit more than my state or my city or whatever to get out of the house.
Cheyenne is in a unique spot. They're at the I-80-25 corridor. So, again, if you are traveling, if people are going to do some traveling and Cheyenne happens to be right there, hey, let's stop in Cheyenne. Hey, I hear it's the Old West. Let's go cruise downtown. Maybe they go stop at the Wrangler. Good for them. They go grab a restaurant. But other than that, though, Nick, again, it's like I told you, like Estes Park. I see a lot of these places that really depend on summer people.
Yeah.
Just to take off. Even, if,
and granted, Estes can survive on the winter months, again, with being surrounded by the mountains where, hey.
Yeah, but what if they're shut down?
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see. Again, that winter time has not come yet, but yes, I get where, hey, summertime is where you need people to come out.
They opened, if I understand it, yesterday they opened Arapahoe Basin, just west of Denver, where they're only allowing 600 people. They got a social distance,
which
60,
is
on a ski slope.
In the grand scheme of it, it's better than nothing.
No,
again,
I
agree.
These
in these times where, hey, it's either nothing or something. I'd rather take the something.
And again, too,
something means it's a minor bit of money in.
And I think more people are having an itch for Central City and things like that in Las Vegas to reopen. I think
Vegas should open. At least they're saying a few select on the Strip. Is
what I'm just
June
saying
4th.
though, that's where people probably, that's going to be your bigger tourist destination than Cheyenne. It's there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to have the attractiveness.
Yeah.
As a Vegas will, or again going to Central City, that type of deal, just to get out of
And
town.
again, who knows if people want to come out to Wyoming, where again it is the ultimate kind of social distance state of to get away from crowds of Vegas, from Orlando, from people in general. Do you think those who are a little timid or a little afraid, hey, Wyoming's wide open. Wyoming's not got a whole lot of people on it. I run less of a risk going to the state of Wyoming, where I can social distance myself because there are no one out here.
Well, and again,
at least again, as people assume that again we're a state that has like 20 people in it, but I wholeheartedly believe that tourism is not going to be as big as it is years ago.
Yeah, I would hate to
or
be
even of last year, but I still think it is going to be some. And I'll take that some better than none.
Yeah, I would hate to be in the state tourism division right now and trying to figure ways on getting people to come here. Yeah, because and how to keep the people in.
And again,
you got to keep people in Wyoming.
If I'm in that tourism at least position, or at least if I'm on that board, again, the key word or the key phrase that has been tossed around for a couple months now is social distance. Well, we are the ultimate state for social distance for those who are still timid, those who are still afraid. Come on out. Come to our empty campgrounds or campgrounds that are out in the wilderness away from folks. Come hike our trails that are going to be empty to a good amount of folks. Go see the wildlife and have.
And unfortunately, too, Nick,
it's good in theory, but
no, it sounds good, but on paper, still, it's got restrictions.
Yeah,
and that's again, as I told you, and I know it's kind of selfish of me sometimes. I got problems with people telling me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
I know what the laws are, and I won't break the laws. But again, you're saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Wait a minute. Why are you even offering it to me if I can't do anything? It's ridiculous.
Well, you're gonna have folks break those rules,
and
those
guess
guidelines.
What? Then they'll shut it down. You'll need one person just to screw it up for everybody. That's usually what happens. Real quick, one last thing as I threw it out there because General Committee Chairman Jimmy Siler mentioned that to me. He lives in Surprise, Arizona, which is the spring training home for Texas and Kansas City. And he says, he's been going by the facility there, which I've played a few times, and he says he's been seeing some workouts there.
Yeah, again, some teams, I think Tampa Bay, at least the Rays, showed that it wasn't the full team, but a few players were out on the fields out there in Tampa.
You get that opportunity. Again, Arizona is open.
But again, baseball right now is still shut down. There's not even a timeline of them even returning.
Now, according to Max Scherzer, who basically scoffed at the owner, he's part of that 8-member Major League Baseball Players Association.
I think the only ownership, at least group or at least team that at least owners basically kind of put out their books to show of what the financials were. I do believe it was the Atlanta Braves. They were the first to say, hey, here's how this is going to affect us. Here's our argument of why we need to do the limited pay. So
and basically Max Scherzer told the owners to go pound sand.
Yeah.
And here's the deal.
And that's why right now for MLB have zero confidence.
I told you I didn't think this was going to happen. I was wishing it would.
I think baseball is a reality right now that you have to realize that it's not happening this season. Could this also too trickle into 2020, at least 2021 MLB?
This
season?
is almost like I told you. It's almost like the strike year of '94, '95. But it's
kind of like this renaissance moment of right now where you're seeing players go, hey. Greedy owners, you're trying to play this game right now,
and then the greedy
owners.
If
you're going to try and do that on 2021,
the greedy owners are saying to the greedy players. And here's for example, if they are to play,
it's billionaires going after millionaires.
Yeah, and this is what was stated. If they play the 80-game season, a guy like Mike Trout, and I use this example, who makes $19 million a year, if he is to play. He's going to make $6 million this year. You and me are going, boo-hoo. Yeah. Wow, $6 million. You and I are taking pay cuts right now. Okay? For the guys that are on the major league minimum, this for them is trying to help them out. Basically, the owners are looking at the guys that are not the frontline players.
Those minimums, though, compared to the rest of the nation, where, again, you're talking,
It's about a 500. I think a minimum salary right now is about a $500,000.
Okay, so again, nothing to scoff at. Again, you're talking six figures where, again, right now you have folks, again, on the million side that are making nothing or at least relying on unemployment benefits that are, again, maybe a couple $100 every 2 weeks, maybe a few $100 a week or something like that, where, again, it is that where as we sit back and look at this, where, again, it is this economic time right now of, hey, here it is, people wealthy or complain about what their wealth is. You guys are a little bit well off than what the rest of the country is.
And you're getting paid to play a game. That's the fun thing. But again, I don't think the same thing. You go back to the strike years. I don't think that they're a unified group of baseball players. There's probably 2/3 of those cats that want to play.
Yeah, they say I'll take that cut and go on.
But the frontliners that draw fans into the stadiums. You know, and again, let's tip our cap to Nolan Arenado. I want to go see him play.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not saying Nolan's being one of these Bogarts right now, but I'm just saying a guy like Nolan Arenado, he's the one who's telling the Monforts, hey, look, I bring you a full house every night. And I'm worth the money.
As I say, in the waning months of last year's Rocky season, they didn't pack.
Again, I'm just using that example.
Anything.
Again, Max Scherzer, you know, he's the one saying, hey, this ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like you. I don't know. They were looking for a July 1st start. Not going to happen.
As of right now, hockey is the only thing to look forward to as they got their act together. NBA
still has to be ratified by the Players Association.
Supposedly that's in good, at least good works, and supposedly some teams are already gearing up to get practices underway, which again they kind of set out June 1st is that like open date. But NBA, again, they're on the fringe right now. They're working to get to that kind of NHL level of, hey, here's our plan, here's our phase to do playoffs. They haven't gotten that yet or announced. They're still looking at just kind of naming where it's going to be.
But you mentioned it the other day, though, too. National Hockey League and the NBA pretty much got paid for the season. They pretty much got all their scratch.
Where, again, now for MLB, this hurts them dearly.
All they did was get a paycheck through, I do believe, May 1. So they got their spring training money and they got the first month of the season. But Major League, National Hockey League, NBA, they've been paid for now. And now what they're trying to do is get the playoff situation settled. Because, again, you know, guys like LeBron James, hey, I want to win the title.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's monies that go along with that, too. How long do you stretch it out? Where is it going to be played? How many teams are going to get invited?
Well,
it's a really mishmash right now.
It's a tricky situation as well, too, as you get later, at least as you push this later and later, where if you want to start up 2020, 2021 NBA or NHL, you kind of stack on top of each other where if you have a deep playoff run in hockey or in basketball, that's kind of a little unfair to those teams, or again, where right now you have 7 teams in the NHL that are not participating at all. They've been at home, and they're going to be at home for quite a long time before preseason and the start of the season happens for 2020, 2021, if it does happen. But, you know, you run in kind of the risk of injury or at least exhaustion or whatever it may be, conditioning issues for that next season that's upcoming very quickly. Again, we're talking, you know, hockey and basketball get underway here in about 5 months. We're talking about, or at least from the timeline of what Bettman kind of put out there for NHL, Stanley Cup was anticipated to be hoisted around August-ish.
Right. And again, here's the other thing that we're forgetting. And if baseball keeps dilly-farting around, guess what? The NFL starts up. They're going to have camps coming up here in about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So, you know, pretty soon.
We'll see on that, too.
I know, but pretty soon baseball's going to become an afterthought like it was in 94, 95.
Yeah.
So, again, we got some really big issues out here. And, again, when is the country going to say, hey, take the mask off? Let's do this. You know, let's try to go back to what we are. Again, here's the whole screw up to all of this, Nick, is that second wave of coronavirus. That Dr. Anthony Fauci said, hey, we're going to have the second wave, and we're going to have more problems, more deaths. And everybody went into panic mode. And everything shut down again. Or I shouldn't say shut down. Everybody backtracked.
We're not shut down.
No. Everybody went backtracking like, well, maybe I don't want to do this now. Maybe.
He's the same guy that also, too, talked about the second wave, but then said, hey, we need to open up as soon as possible.
Not him. That was the president.
No, that came from him. You might want to look back. Again,
I don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear that guy
drain
talk.
yourself in national media.
I don't want to hear that guy even talk ever again because he tells you 3 different things about wearing your mask.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm about done with that. All right, we got to wrap things up here. Are we back again tomorrow?
No.
All right, we're back again next week. So again,
sometime.
Yeah,
Again, just
join
stay
us.
tuned on at least on the social media sites, whether it's Twitter at Nick Wild Sports, Facebook.com/Wild Sports Talk, Facebook.com/1480 KRAE. That's where you're going to update it. Also, too, on the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel as well. Again, that's where you're going to find if we are having a show. If we're not, again, as we've been kind of sporadic, again, it is something that we're not going to come back full time because right now, again, we got baseball, thankfully. But that's kind of sporadic. We're not going to spend all time on post 6. Again, that's not going to fill 5 days, a week to talk just purely post 6.
Well, and there's always news happening, but it's not going to fill a 2-hour show.
Well,
either,
and again,
so.
a lot of this news outside of what happened for Frontier Days, but again, with the NHL, with MLB, with NBA, again, it's still nothing set in stone per se.
UW signed a contract with Connecticut to play football in 2021. They replaced Clemson.
Great replacement.
Yeah. Well, at least we'll win. All right.
I would have guaranteed that.
I know we got a better shot at winning against Clemson. Connecticut than we do Clemson.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we got